Hello, I'm Dan Dawkins for Battlefield Recon. On today's special show, we're looking at the 4 key character classes and helping you choose which is best for you. If you like the video, please click the like button and do subscribe for more great Battlefield videos and other great videos on the CBG channel. As you know, Andy spent all week at DICE and he's a long-time Battlefield veteran. He's going to take you through now in our analysis section each character class and how to maximise the use of them. So where should we start?
We'll start with the Assault class. It's the first class that you, it's the first class on the menu, so let's do it. Alphabetically first also. Brilliant. The Assault class, as you know, it hasn't changed much since Battlefield 3. It's still the go-to class for for assault rifles, which are sort of medium to longish range weapons. It's still got the medic abilities, so the health pack, which you get at the start, defibrillator, they're all there, and it's got the underslung grenade launcher as well to give you a little bit of power. Now, just sort of looking at the class itself, if you're sticking with an assault rifle, the M16A4 is back. Now, that was really overpowered in Battlefield 4, and what they've done is they switched it to burst fire, so it's not quite as powerful. It's still incredibly accurate, so it's a little bit more difficult to use. I think people will get on really well with it, but it's perhaps not for new guys, because if you do miss, then you're going to be in a bit of trouble because it's only burst firing. In the absence of that, I would suggest that players look to something like the Scar H, which is quite a nice medium range weapon. And if you pimp that out with some grips to make it more accurate from hip firing, you can't go far wrong. I personally like to play as a medic most of the time, so I will take a defibrillator and a health pack just as standard. And once you get to a 66,000 assault score, you get the combat medic field upgrade, which I suggest you apply that. Now, there are a number of different grenade launcher things that you can apply to the M32HE, which is your underslung grenade launcher. Some of them are quite interesting. You can get flashbang grenades for it, which is quite good. If you want a bit more firepower, then you can go for the shotgun rounds. But I don't think there's much to rival the sort of the basic grenades that you get at the start. They're nice sort of all-round weapons. You can take out vehicles with them if you're persistent. So I'd probably go for that combination if you want the firepower.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Engineer class.
Engineer is my favourite class, and I played it a lot during the review session. It's incredibly versatile, and because any class can pick carbines now. Carbines are a great alternative to assault rifles because they do pack a decent punch over medium range. So, with the addition of the anti-tank and anti-air weaponry, the Engineer is probably the best class to cause a lot of damage with. Now, personal defense weapons, they're all right. At close range, you can't. There's no substitute for them apart from maybe a shotgun. So if you pick in a personal defense weapon, I'd probably go for the PDW, and maybe sort of fit something to stabilize it, and of course something to sort of like a barrel compensator to make sure that you're not sort of spraying everywhere with that. But personally, I usually use a carbine with the Engineer. I use the G36C. It's not the most powerful carbine, but it does have decent range and it is very accurate. So I find it's just a nice all-rounder. You can cause a lot of damage with it. The repair tool is standard. Don't forget you can use that offensively and defensively. So you can, as I do, bring down tanks with it just by running along behind the tank.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realise it's happening if you snuck up on the tank, so it's a really good way of doing it. Now, in terms of the other kit that you can have, I guess the OD bot's a bit of a novelty. I would personally go for, the standard RPG, which you don't actually unlock until 109,000 points, is as good as any for taking out tanks. You don't necessarily want something that's guided because you can just fire it, forget about it, and duck behind cover again.
Right.
The Javelin's always pretty good. It packs a decent amount of power, but that is you have to sort of stick your neck out a little bit to fire that off. In terms of the anti-air stuff, I'd probably go for the IGLA. Don't be afraid to go back into your class loadout and pick the IGLA if you think that the helicopters on the map are having, too much of their own way with your troops, because I noticed like a lot of people don't pack anti-air and just try and shoot down helicopters with an RPG, which is all noble if you can actually hit them. But when you've got something that's locking onto them and taking them out, it's a lot easier to do, and you can actually turn the tide in your favour pretty quickly with that.
Don't be a hero when you can lock on. I always say that.
Well, exactly, yeah. In terms of what upgrade to take, you don't unlock it till quite late on, but the anti-tank field upgrade is fantastic.
Next up, we're looking at the support class.
Yep, the support class is probably, I'd say it's the most underused class in Battlefield. So if you can make yourself into a really, really good support soldier, you will be, people will want you on their squad.
Rubbish name, innit? You think support, you just think,
Yeah.
I'm a background guy.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
But you're not a background guy.
Ah.
I think I'm probably going to go into Battlefield 4 and level up my support class first, because they're in demand and they're decent this time round. So the probably the best weapon to go for when you support, they're all pretty much of a much, but I quite like the PKP Pachang, which you unlock sort of halfway through the progression. It's quite beefy. It's not too wild when you fire it, so you can cause a reasonable amount of damage with it without fitting too much to compensate. Now, interestingly, with the support class, you can unlock anti-vehicle stuff. Like, a big problem with it in BF3 was there wasn't much you could do when a tank rolled up. So in terms of loadout, take the ammo pack, because so few people drop ammo packs in the game. You'll be getting points all over the place if you just sort of dot them around the map. People will love it. People will love you for it. They can actually unlock the mortar at 139,000 points, and C4. That's the last kit unlock for the support. So basically, if you've got C4 for your support class, you can quite easily take out tanks and things like that. So once you've unlocked it, I'd recommend taking the ammo kit and the C4. The mortar, fair enough if you can use it, if you can get yourself in enough space, but with the support you probably want to be getting stuck in a little bit more. Don't forget, with the support as well, you get a lot of points from suppressing people. So even if you're not killing them, even if you see someone else going around for a better shot than you, just fire the crap out of someone who's hidden behind a wall, and you will get a lot of points when they die. In terms of the field upgrade that you should get for them, the offensive field upgrade, which is the first one you lock, is pretty good all-rounder, so I'd probably go with that one.
Finally, my favourite class, because it's named after the show, or maybe the other way around, it's the Recon class.
Oh, that's sad, because it's my least favourite class.
Oh.
I know, I'm not very on message, am I?
Come on, Andy.
Yeah, the Recon class, it's a sniper class. It's what it's primarily used as. It's very, very popular on PC. I don't particularly like it, because a lot of people who play Recon don't tend to get in and help the teammates out. But I can see the appeal, because it is great for getting kills. The sniper rifles in the game, they're a reasonable bunch. One of the best sniper rifles actually isn't unlockable. It's one that you pick up on the Paracel store map, which is the 50 cal, and that kills people with one shot. Day to day, the SV98 is always popular, so I'd probably go with that.
Day to day, what, when you're shopping and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you're down the shops, someone picks up the last Mars bar. That's how you sort it out.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go with that. It's a nice all-rounder. In terms of unlocks, the motion sensor is quite useful if you're planning on camping. Again, I don't approve of camping in Battlefield, but if you're going to do it, pick the motion sensor. C4 is a bit of a must, because obviously if you get vehicles chasing you, you're going to have to deal with them. If you want to help out your team a little bit more, you've got a number of options. You've got the MAV, you've got the SOFLAM, and the radio beacon. So either of those, if you want to go properly in for supporting your team, which you really should do but if you're a camper, you just want the most powerful sniper rifle, just pick the motion sensor so people don't sneak up behind you and knife you in the back. in terms of that, the Spec Ops field upgrade is pretty good for the sniper. Now, I'm just going to throw a curveball in here, because when I do play Recon, I like to sort of get up really close with it. So what I do is
close range sniper.
Yes, because I'm that perverse. So I pick a Recon with a shotgun, and the shotguns are unlocked for all the classes.
Right.
So you go with something really beefy like an SPS 12. You can fit it with all sorts of things to sort of help you compensate for the kickback that you get from it. You can even fit it with different 12 gauge ammo, so you can give yourself a bit more range with it. So a top tip, if you pick yourself a shotgun with your sniper and really sort of tailor your loadout to go close range, like with C4 and stuff like that, a lot of people don't expect that. They find you on a rooftop or something like that, they're going to think that they've got all the time in the world, and you wheel around with a shotgun. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. That's just my personal tip. Obviously you can pick shotgun with any class, but I quite like doing it with the Recon class.
I hope you enjoyed our class video. We'll have more great videos for Battlefield on the channel throughout the week, so do subscribe and we'll see you soon.